at 7:03. For the members, well, everybody knows who's here. We can see everyone. We have a quorum. We also have Kim Barron and Barbara Henry. I think we have Kim. Kim is mute though, as far as I can tell.
Okay, I just unmuted myself, Andy. Sorry about that.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Printing on my printer makes a lot of noise. I apologize.
No worries. So I'm not quite sure how to conduct this, because normally we would open it up to comments from members of the public. And I don't believe that we're set up to do that except for the emailed comments that we have earlier. Barbara's shaking her head.
No, I mean, you can unmute people who would like to speak.
Okay. Well, let me, I'm just going to go through the people I see in the order that I see them, and it's nothing personal, but that's how you appear on my screen. So I'm going to go with Sarah first. How do I unmute?
Good evening. Hi, Andy. It's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing?
Good. I don't have any comments. I just wanted to listen in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Kim Pokrivka next.
I'm just listening in too.
Okay.
No
Welcome.
comments.
And then let's start going through the anonymous numbers. Barbara, can you do that, or whoever's in charge here?
We have, I don't know who's dialing in from 203-405-1338.
That's Paul Healy.
Okay.
Okay, Paul, we got you then. I'm renaming you.
Okay.
And the other number is 508-954-4792.
Yeah, that'll be Lance Reynolds from the Republican American newspaper.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks, Lance.
Very good.
And that's all we have.
Okay.
Wait, actually, you know what? We have more people to come in. We have 2 more people.
Okay.
Dan, it's iPod.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Janet. This is Andy. I'm the chairman. I'm just inviting members of the public, if they wish to make a comment, to go ahead and do so now. We're unmuting people one at a time, and you were next on the list. So if you have anything you'd like to say, please have at it.
Well, actually, it's nice to be able to attend on Zoom. I'm so glad, because normally we have never attended in person, partly because of the time.
It's rare.
So it's nice to have it on Zoom.
Good. Do you have any comments on the budget?
I was happy to see there was not an increase, and I didn't really get a chance to look at the details. Too much is going on, but generally speaking, it was nice to see that things are holding steady.
Good.
And we appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
We trust you guys a lot.
Well, I'm glad that you're here to keep us honest, though, because the whole process should be open to everyone. Thank you for attending. Okay, who's next?
Deborah Mabbitt.
Deborah?
She's connecting to her audio.
Go downstairs.
Hi, Deborah. It looks like you might be live now.
Oh, hi.
Hi, this is Andy. I'm the chairman. If we're inviting people to speak, if you've got any comments, we'd love to hear them.
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on then. I think we've got everybody, though, right?
Yes. That is everybody. We have a total of 14 participants right now.
Okay. Wow. That's almost better than usual. So this is the opportunity for the public to comment. We've got a couple of emailed comments as well. They should be read into the record, or we could probably screen share them. I'm not quite sure how to do that. I've got the file up, but I don't know how to screen share it. Julie, can you help me with that? Oh, share screen. How about that?
I don't have the file, so I can't screen share it.
Okay, hang on a second.
I know it's to the right of chat to screen share.
There we go. Let's see. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to scroll down so we get to the actual comments. We don't have many. Let's see. Jenny Hurlbert is,
Andy,
yeah.
I think people who are on by audio aren't able to access it.
Oh, okay. So the first comment is by James Hurlbut. The question is, how satisfied are you with the current budget and how your local taxes are spent? He's 9 out of 10. And please share your comments, questions, or concerns about the 2020-2021 municipal town budget. And his comment is, the school budget is insane. And the next comment, well, it's from Barbara Henry, who is giving us a 10 out of 10. But she's seeing, just testing the system out. The next comment is from Nicole Ross. How satisfied are you with the current budget and how your local taxes are spent? Nicole was saying 8 out of 10. Please share your comments. She has no comments. And the last comment is by Andrew Kodas. How satisfied are you with the current budget and how your local taxes are spent? He's giving us a 6 out of 10. And he has a longer comment. Please share your comments. With the exact extent of the economic impact due to COVID-19 still unknown, one thing is for certain. Some people, our own residents included, have lost their income, had income greatly reduced, and some might see their own businesses disappear altogether to never recover from this pandemic with extensive economic stress. Residents will be unable to pay their mortgages as well as their property taxes due to loss or reduction of income. Some foreclosures in the near future are to be expected. With this in mind, it's great that the mill rate is being reduced from 15.85 to 15.8, but I strongly believe that for this year, the Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen can sharpen their pencils and reduce the mill rate even lower than the currently proposed 15.8. Some line items can be eliminated, some deferred, and some can be reduced from their current funding level. Thank you for your consideration. And that is all of the comments. I'm going to try and log out of screen share now. Nope, I just did something different. Okay. By the time we don't have to do this anymore, I'll be good at it. That didn't seem to do it. Any help? Anybody? Bueller? Clicking random things. My thumbnail video. Nope. Let's see. Can I maximize? There we go. How do I do that? Okay. Is that back to normal for everyone or not?
No, you're still up there. We have another person in the waiting room too.
Okay. Can we?
I will let him in.
Okay.
And also, if we can find out Janet's last name, please.
My last name is Esposito.
Esposito with an E?
Yes.
Thank you.
And my
And
husband,
we have Rich online.
yeah, he's in the background. So he's attending partially.
So who hasn't spoken yet? Julie, who hasn't been given an opportunity?
I am looking through it and so Rich Esposito is with you, Janet, in the same location?
Yes.
Okay. So Rich is the only one, but if he doesn't want to speak, that's fine.
Yeah, he's right. He's moving around in the other room. So
Okay.
he's in and out.
So otherwise, everyone else has had the chance to speak.
Okay, well, then that concludes the business of the public hearing. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Now I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Finance. And please, the public is certainly welcome to stay on board. We're going to discuss the budget a little bit. And we will vote on the budget for the 2020-2021 fiscal year tonight. So please, if you're interested, stick around. First order of business, though, is minutes from the last meeting. Did everyone have an opportunity to read them?
Yes.
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 Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? That's unanimous. When we get to voting on the budget, I think we're going to have to kind of go one by one so that Julie can be sure that everyone has voted and notes their vote. Julie, what's first on the agenda? Is it Rico's contract or is it the?
First on the agenda is actually a proposed budget for Town of Roxbury. It's your discussion for the public hearing.
Okay.
Then you have your mill rate and then the appointment of auditor.
Okay. So I had a couple of conversations with other members of the public outside of the meeting this week. You know, people who have talked to me, and the general consensus was, you know, is there any way we can bring it down a little bit more, just because of, well, what Andrew Cotis said. Things are in a very unusual place. Even though we're in a pretty good situation with the budget, Barbara and Kim have done a great job. We had a windfall from the Board of Ed this year for a change, and that gives us some room to maneuver to do some things that we might otherwise not have been able to do. So my thought is that I would like to see if there's a way that we could actually bring the budget down a full $500,000. Does anybody have comments on that, thoughts?
Well, I think, let's see, without opening the consideration of the budget items back up, which I think we were pretty careful about, it seems to me if we're going to do it, then we would have to put back, well, one option would be to put back a small buy down of the budget of the fund balance. Is that right, Bob?
Yes.
And if
Andy, how much?
you bring it down, a full $500,000.
I think a $500,000 is about 300,000. Is that correct, Barbara?
Yeah. Yep. It would be because, yeah, mill's a little over, what is it, Kim? It's over 6. Like 630 is the mill, so. Right. As I had mentioned before, you know, I have never been through the whole budget process where we didn't buy it down somehow and with something from the fund balance, because we do have a good fund balance. I know there's a lot of unknowns this year and going in and not knowing if we're going to get reimbursed. We don't have a lot of expenses that we're going to be looking for FEMA to reimburse. They're still trying to decide if it's going to be 75% or 100%, but we're very lucky so far, but I don't know where the end is on all of this. And So what all of you did was put some money in for these unknowns. Wow. I don't know what that is, but for these unknowns.
Right.
And I don't know, somebody's got an open mic somewhere.
Yeah, folks need to
Yeah.
unmute. They need to unmute, to mute them.
Yeah.
We need to.
Right. If there's.
So anyway, we have been very fortunate when we have used money from the fund balance to buy the budget down, basically to get a deficit. We have not had to use it, but it has helped during the year. Because, you know, at the end of the year, when the auditor goes through everything, we're always getting money back from that. For example, I got to look at what last year's was, but we didn't spend everything that we had budgeted.
Right. We never do.
Right.
So
I have to say, it would be, I think it would, this is Paul Healy. I think it would be terrific to find another half. But I think given the unknowns, I think we'd almost be derelict in moving from where we are now, because we don't know. I mean, we're very fortunate here in Roxbury. But we don't know what could happen tomorrow, a month from now, 2 months from now.
It's true.
I know, I don't know if there's going to be, you know, and they're saying another wave in the fall, even if this thing comes to a halt in June or July. So there are a lot of unknowns. I think that you've done a good thing by putting money in the contingency for these unknowns, and hopefully we won't have to use them.
Right.
Yeah.
We have, for the sake of the public who probably hasn't read the budget as well as we have about $100,000 in contingency and another $100,000 in the civil preparedness budget that we've put there for COVID-19 just in case we need it. We're hoping that A, we don't have to spend it, and B, if we do spend it, it will be reimbursed to some degree by FEMA.
Right.
Correct.
And right now, from all the organizations I'm involved with that are receiving these loans and grants, different boards that I sit on, the system isn't working. So the idea that we will get reimbursed by FEMA is a real long shot.
Well, we're also sitting very pretty compared to the cities, you know, that are putting up these testing sites and places for beds and all of that. Those are things that they're going to be looking for money for, and we don't have that. So we are very lucky.
Very lucky.
Other comments from members of the board? John, Patrick?
I think we should leave it where it is.
Okay.
Well, only because we've had these discussions, I feel comfortable. Extra money that was put aside, I think that we're prepared for this as much.
So
You would maybe like to ask the tax collector if she thinks that there's going to be a real problem in collecting the taxes this year.
that's a good point. Kim, could you let Kim on? Or Julie, could you let Kim on?
I think I unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Did you hear
I do think it's going to be a problem. I think that the motor vehicle supplement is going to be down. I don't think anybody's buying new cars, and we rely on that in December. And yeah, I do think we are going to have a little bit of a problem, but I talked to Kim Barron about that previously, and she did move my collection rate down from what I originally had, you know, projected. So I don't know. I started in 2006, and I've never been through anything like this, so I really sure.
Yeah, no one has.
I think we're safe with what we set it at, hopefully.
Okay.
But
Well, this is clearly so unprecedented, but Kim, you did share at one of our recent meetings that given the 9/11 and then the financial crisis 07, 08, that we actually weathered that pretty well.
Yeah.
That is correct. The last 3 years, and our tax collection rate is pretty constant. Surprisingly,
yeah.
Through all of these, through a lot of different events, global events and events here in our own country. So,
Right.
I'm
But
getting
we
a lot
can't
of,
predict what's happening now.
yeah.
Right. This is kind of a fluid situation. It's not changing day to day, and I do have to say that I do feel that we will get our money from FEMA, but again, it's probably going to take longer to get it than we normally would see because this event is a nationwide event. It's again unprecedented times. I know that's crazy a lot, but
yeah.
I'm getting a lot of background noise. If could everyone who isn't a member of the board please mute their phone or their computer? I think that might be where I'm hearing that from. Sometimes it's making it hard to hear, and I imagine other people have the same problem. So it feels to me like the consensus of the board is that we should leave the mill rate and the budget where we arrived at our last meeting. And I'm okay with that. I just wanted to be sure that we had the discussion. Is that how people are coming down on this?
Yes.
That's Paul Healy is right with you on that. Yes.
Okay.
Me too.
Well, is there any reason not to vote on it now? Is there a motion?
No, can I just?
Oh,
okay,
Barbara.
No, I was going to just ask Kim where the people, Kim Pokrivka, the tax collectors, if there are people who are going to be given a 90-day reprieve from paying their mortgage. So, I mean, I don't know how many people that's going to affect, but it will affect the escrowed taxes that are paid. So do you see that too? I mean, there is an unknown. We don't know who's taking that. Or do you? Or do you know?
It does not include escrow at all. They will be paid. So, I mean, I will tell you, I have talked to collectors in the area. Woodbury is banking on getting all their escrow payments in, and they're deferring everybody's taxes for 3 months because the tax collector does not feel that it is her job to determine if somebody, I mean, right now they're telling me that it's my job to determine if somebody qualifies for the deferment. I don't have the knowledge to know that, but that's what is being put on our shoulders. So I will tell you, in Woodbury, they're deferring everybody for 3 months because they feel they're getting enough money from the escrows to get them through the first 3 months. So, I mean, that's just one more thing to think about. Anyway.
Sounds like another argument in favor of leaving the budget where it is.
Yeah.
Andy, this is Ed. I have a question for Kim Barron. Kim, can you hear me?
Kim Barron.
Go ahead, Ed.
Do you have the reserve fund balance in front of you and how it correlates with the proposed budget as a percentage? I'm just curious.
Let me pull that up. Hold on.
I believe the state guideline is what, between 20 and 25%, Andy? Is that what they recommend?
You know, I don't remember what the state guideline is because we're always so far above it. It's kind of an irrelevant figure to keep in my mind. But we have something like 3 months operating expenses on hand. Is that typically correct, Barbara? Yeah.
Yeah, they want, the state guidelines are, 2, but the Board of Finance has always gone for 3, which I think is pretty good, especially when you're looking at times like this.
Yeah.
Looking for my balance report.
For those who just came on, we're waiting for Kim Barron to come up with the balance or fund balance number. That was a question.
So, okay, so at the end of June 30th, 2019, our unassigned fund balance was 2.368 million, and that represented 21.2% of this year's budget, and that was basically 2.5 months of operating expenses at $939,000 and change. And what I'm projecting for June 30th, 2020 is an unassigned fund balance of 2.704 million, and that would be 24.11% of the proposed budget of 11,218,868, and that would represent almost 2.89 months of operating expenses. They go down a bit from last year at $934,096. So it's between 21-24%. And the recommended percentages from the GFOA and CCM, the GFOA recommends at least 5% of your annual operating expenses make up your unassigned fund balance, and CCM looks for 1 to 3 months of operating expenses. So we're way beyond the percentage, and we're hovering right around close to 3 months of operating expenses in the unassigned fund balance.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Yep.
So what that means, again, for the members of the public who aren't necessarily following this to the degree that we are, if we had no revenue come in for 3 months, we would still be able to pay the town's bills. It's a very unlikely scenario that we would ever see that, but that's where we stand. Okay, so anything else for members of the board?
Well, I would just only add to that, this is Paul Healy, that I think that all of us and all of our constituents and our fellow Roxburians should feel very, very happy and comfortable with the fact that we could cover 3 months. That is a doomsday scenario. Not every town in Connecticut has been managed the way this town has been managed all these years, and so hats off to Barbara Henry and her team.
Agreed.
Absolutely. I'd also like to add that the town has no bonded debt, which is a great thing not to have also. So.
Huge point. Huge point.
Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. So is there a motion to approve the budget and the mill rate?
So moved.
I think we need to word it more formally, and we may have to ask Kim or Barbara to fill in the exact numbers because they've moved around a little bit. The mill rate has not, but the total number of the budget has.
Is all we need is in the motion is the total figure of the budget?
Total town budget, yep.
Yeah, total figure of the town
Total
budget.
town budget. Okay, so let me try and you fill in the numbers. I move that we approve the town budget of,
Here, wait a minute. Where's my last page? Kim, where'd my last page go? You want to pick that number up?
Yeah, I'll do it. It's 3,573,747. And
okay, and that we, Andy, is this one motion or two?
I think it should be two motions.
Be one.
Me too. Okay, so let me stop there.
Is there a second to Nanette's motion?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any abstentions? Any nays? Okay, the municipal budget passes. Now we need to move on to setting the mill rate, which also includes what we pay to Region 12, which, again, for the benefit of the public, is about 70% of what our total budget number is. The 3 million number that we just passed is just the town operating and capital budget.
Andy,
Yes,
this is Aaron. Okay, what you just passed is the town's operating budget.
Yep.
It does not include the capital improvements.
Okay.
Thought it was.
Okay,
I know,
so
you should change the number.
Maybe we
million
should go
not-
back and add the capital to that.
Yes.
right, you can do it under a
Can we do that
separate-
motion? Well, otherwise we're going to have three.
Right, we're going
Right.
to have 3. Yeah, I thought we had the capital number in there as well.
Nanette could withdraw her motion.
Okay, Nanette, are you?
I can't withdraw it, we already voted.
Oh, you're right.
Well, then we need a third motion.
Third
All
motion.
right.
So if someone cares to motion to approve the capital budget,
So moved.
and Kim, can you fill in the number?
The 607,350. 607,350.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Budget passes, the capital budget passes unanimously. Okay. Now we need a third motion to set the mill rate, which will also cover our portion of the Region 12 budget. Is there a motion to set the mill rate?
Andy,
Yes.
Jim Conway here. What number are we using for Region 12?
Kim, what number are we using for that?
7,037,771.
Thank you.
And
And then the
42
mill
cents.
rate?
I'm sorry, Paul, what did you say?
No, just saying, and we need to state the mill rate?
We need to state the mill rate, which is would be 15.8.
Okay. I'm happy to give a motion
Go ahead.
to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion of the mill rate? All those in favor of setting the mill rate at 15.8 signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Mill rate passes unanimously. Thank you. So the mill rate for 2021 will be 15.8, which is a slight drop from last year, which was 15.85. So there we go. Next item on the agenda is discussing the contract of our auditor, Charles Heavens and Company. We've talked about that. We need to do it. But the number that Rico threw out, Rico is our auditor, for this year is $24,000 in change. Is that correct, Kim? I've got that email.
Yes, correct, 24,000.
And that's up from last year.
It is. I think it's a cost of living increase he used from the previous year.
That includes the library.
What does the board think about renewing Rico's contract?
Well, Andy, we're not just renewing it, we're approving it for a longer period of time.
Right, we're approving it for 3 years.
Is it 3 or 4?
I believe it's 3.
I'm looking at 4
4? Okay.
through 2023.
4
years, okay.
I have two concerns. One is, what is our ability to get out of it if something comes up? And then the second question is, do we really want to commit ourselves 4 years out? I can't imagine how or why the price would go down, but in case it does, I don't know. It seems like a long time to me. I'm comfortable with 3.
We've always done 3 in the past. I'm not sure why. Rico's been kind of busy recently, and we just exchanged some emails this morning. So we can table this. We do not have to pass this tonight. And I can ask him why he wants to go 4 years and see if there's any justification for that.
Well, if other people want to move ahead, I'm fine. Because we haven't heard from anybody else. So if people are ready to vote, it's okay with me.
What are people's thoughts?
I think we need to discuss it more.
Table it.
Okay, we can do that. That's not a problem. I'll reach out to Rico and find out why he's asking for a longer term, and we can go from there. In the past, well, 3 years ago, we did put this out to bid and got nothing useful out of the process.
That's right.
And I think we've talked about the idea of putting it out to bid again, but I don't know what we would gain. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Andy, it's Paul Healy. I am uncomfortable going that kind of term with the existing accountants, though I have nothing to complain about with them. And I really, I look to our team in town hall to give us their view. I don't think now, today, with all that's going on, is the time to put it out for bid. There's just too much going on, and I think we would risk too much. But I would argue that maybe we don't agree to 4 years. Maybe we do 2 years.
Jim Conway again. I totally agree. Rico's been doing a great job. No need to increase it to 4. Just tell him we're going to hire him for 3.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing to complain about them. I have does
No,
Kim or
great.
Barbara or anybody have any issues?
None.
No.
No.
Well, okay.
No, I've always
Okay,
found
well,
them to be incredibly responsive.
Yeah. And frankly, given all that we're going through now, we don't know what we're going to be presented with. It's going to be quite helpful to us to have the same player on, on our side.
Yeah. Well,
Right
another
now.
thing we
Agreed.
could do, we could, as Jim suggested, we could approve Rico's contract for 2 years or 3 years. We don't have to go with the 4 that he's asking for.
Yeah. I
Can I
think that's fair.
And this amount here does include the library, which we pull out and have it under our library other. every year.
So what's everyone's sense of renewing Rico's contract for 2 or 3 years?
Agree.
Agree. Paul Healy's in favor.
Where are we talking, 2 years or are we talking 3 years?
Can we do it?
2 to 3, I'm agnostic. If it's 3, I'm fine. It's okay.
And that's what we've always
Jim
done.
Conway, status quo, 3 years.
Does anyone
Good.
care to make a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion to renew Charles Heaven and Company's contract for an additional 3 years at $24,000 a year. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any negatives? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. So, Kim, Joy, is there anything else on the agenda? I think that finishes us.
No, just adjournment.
Okay. I'd like to
My
thank.
God, what a concept! Adjournment. And listen, this is my only social connection. I don't want this to end.
Right. Well, there's always Facebook, Paul. So I want to thank the members of the public who donated some of their evening to paying attention to what we're doing here. And you don't have to wait just for budget season to talk to us. If you've got any concerns or questions, any of us are quite happy to speak with you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. And everybody, please be safe.
Thanks, folks.
Stay out of those
Thank you,
corners.
guys.
Thank you very
I want
much.
to thank everybody for working with us and Kim Barron for all the time spent redoing and redoing and redoing. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a
Appreciate
great
working
job
with-
this year. Really, considering the circumstances, it was outstanding.
Yeah. Kim, you are a superstar. A superstar. We love you.
Thank you for those very kind words. It's
Good
very
job,
much.
folks.
All right.
All right, good night, everyone.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good night.
Good night.